Greetings and welcome back once again to From the Depths. It has been quite a while, let me bring in the UI, since I last recorded. And there is a reason for that, before you worry that it's because I've gone off the game. That is completely not true. In a nutshell, as some of you may be aware, those who follow me on Twitter, for example, I have recently made the decision to go ahead and buy a new computer. The time has come, I feel, and part of the reason for that is actually from the depths. It hasn't been running well, and as much as I want to play it, I felt that the recorded experience wasn't meeting my expectations, really. I couldn't have large scale battles. I had to have the block count fairly low, and the FPS would slow to a crawl in anything but the less complicated battles, in anything but the more basic ones. But the new computer was ordered on Monday. It was actually ordered on Sunday, but, it goes through on Monday. With the expectation that it would be here by Tuesday of this week, that is. Unfortunately, some of the components were out of stock, so the components that were going to be delivered from that particular trader haven't arrived yet. I've got most of the computer here because I'll be building it myself, but unfortunately, the case, the PSU, and the CPU cooler haven't arrived. And as you can imagine, they're kind of important. So, yes, that is on hold. And until the computer has arrived, now I have been told that the components did come back into stock, and they should be here before the weekend, but there's a small chance that they might not be. And until I've had the components delivered and had time to put the components together and get myself settled with a new computer, I'm not going to be recording anymore from the depths, because I don't want to progress the campaign and go to war again until I can record that said war in the quality that it deserves. However, there are a few things that we can do in this episode. It isn't just going to be a basic little update. First and foremost, we have the small detail of working on our vehicle over there. Now, what I want to do is I want to jump over to vehicle. Can we go to forces? Yes, we can. Warp to chair. There we go. I am now aboard the vehicle. Fantastic. Now, one of the first things I'm going to be working on is something that quite a lot of people have told me to do. Now, there's another thing actually I wanted to quickly touch on. When I loaded it up just before starting to record, I noticed a lot of things were working differently. It seems that the weight of objects and also thrust, things like that, they've changed since I made this vehicle. As you can see, it can barely lift itself out of the water. It's basically just sat in the water, and yet the rotor is working as hard as it can, bless it. Also, the Sun Wukong cannot maintain its the previous maximum altitude. A few things have changed. I'm not sure exactly how much or in what ways, but suffice it to say, do excuse me, I've got the hiccups at the moment. This is what I get for drinking my tea too quickly. But suffice it to say, I'm going to need to make some changes with all of those. Now, the next thing I wanted to do is I've received a lot of advice that the way I had this all set up was probably just asking for it to be blown up underneath the vehicle and thus explode it. So we're going to be doing two things. One, we're adding an extra block, primarily so I can add this, a safety fuse. Safety fuse, this will stop the missile exploding on the vehicle it was launched from under any circumstances. So I'm going to go with that one. And the second, an explosive warhead just to fill the gap. And there we go. All of those missiles, or rather mines, have been updated. So it's got a little bit more punch now, but it also won't explode on us, which is fantastic. And next up, we are going to be updating this vehicle's name. Now, a lot of people have been wondering what I'm going to be naming this, and I had so many good suggestions. So many. It was so hard for this one to choose what to go with. There are so many good mythologies to draw from, which have flying creatures, which had something to do with this. But ultimately, someone preyed upon my weakness for all things draconic and suggested the Tengshe, which is apparently a flying dragon snake of Chinese mythological origin. The Tengshe it shall be. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save that. Let's go to Constructibles, and we would like to make this the Tengshe. Let's place this in. There we go. And save over Tengshe. Fantastic. Now, has that actually saved? Yes, Tengshe version 6. Fantastic. That means we can now change this vehicle's designation from just Tengshe to... I'm actually not sure what the designation would be. Obviously, ships are HMS, Her Majesty's ship. What would Her Majesty's bomber? HMB. Well, you know what? I honestly don't know what designations that the Air Force use for their craft. But for want of anything else, we'll go with HMB for now. I may change that once I actually check and make sure that I know what I'm talking about, and we'll go with that. But for now, the HMB it shall be. Oh, that rhymes. Okay, now the next part of the puzzle, and HMB Tengshe, you can despawn for now. Thank you very much. We are going to be jumping over to. I would like to teleport first. No. Can we make that in play? Just the HMS Avsong? Yes, fantastic. There we go. Now, this has been. It's been on the books for a long time. It has been something we've needed to work on for an awfully long time. And now let's think. How am I going to do this? The first thing we need to do is we need to reduce this weight, this horrible amount of weight. One way of doing that is to replace all of the wood inside with a lightweight metal alloy where plausible, and also all of these enormous barrels of ammo. I don't need access down here. And I'm strongly considering moving all of the ammo just into the middle of this area instead. Getting rid of that. So we've only got the lasers down here. I mean, they'd still be very powerful lasers. Probably way too powerful for what we would want to use it for, but yes, okay, that's where we're going to start first. Actually, no, the very first thing we're going to do is, unfortunately, laser, you've done us well. You've protected us for a very long time. It is time. It is time for you to go. I'm not going to just chop you up all in one go and just like remove your support so that you just flop out and drown in the ocean. That would be a horrible way for such a noble weapon to end its days. No, we're going to take you apart properly. The way you are. Well, okay, at least that part went away in a puff of smoke. That means it was the proper way. I'm fairly sure that's what it means. And the main reason I'm doing this, I hate having just random bits floating around in the ocean around me because of the way it doesn't despawn for a while. It's most frustrating, but with this gone, we should... Ooh, okay, that worked. What? Okay. It seems that the system didn't like that, but all right, I accept. Now, I'm wondering about the AI. I think it makes sense to have the AIs in the bridge, but at the same time, it does make for a rather easy target for more or less everything. But I'm fairly certain what I'm going to be doing... drat, damn and blast. I'm fairly certain what I'm going to be doing is replacing the bridge with just lightweight metal alloy instead of the metal that we've got right now. I think that would work out a little bit better for us in the long run. Why did I just replace that? I have no idea. And we're going to center it. Yeah. Okay, right, I'm going to bring you back when I have got the bridge more or less sorted out, and then we will see what our next step will be. And welcome back to the Eversong, having had a significant bit of work done to her aesthetics. Now, this is the new bridge. It's quite spacious. It's also quite not finished yet. And, well, currently, I suppose, this is an easy way for me to get down there and show you what I've done. But first, from the outside, and I'm not going to use the third-person camera. No, we're gonna take the tour in first person. As you can see, I've gone around the ship. I've replaced all of the wood with lightweight metal alloy. That is true of the internals as well. We also have a bit of shaping down here. We've got a bit of a keel to try and help balance it just a little bit. It's not much of a keel, I suppose, but it seems to do the job for the time being. The problem I had previously, and it's still kind of present, is how much it bobs back and forth because of the enormous weight on this weapon. This weapon is hugely heavy. But I really don't want to replace this armor. I like having the very heavy armor on this weapon, as well as the heavy armor around my missile systems. But it is bobbing back and forth, so that the bit of weight at the back there has helped even out the bob at the very least. Now, as you can see at the back, we've got a little platform out here. I may have some repair arms, or maybe even some builders or something. I'm not sure. Again, I don't really want the Eversong to do everything. I wanted to do its job fairly well, and you know, leave the building to other ships, leave the repairing to other ships. Or, well, repair tentacles maybe, but so I don't want it to be a builder. But as you can see, it's a nice little place with a little bit of lighting as well. So on those dark, dreary nights, we can find our way home. Now, to show you what I've done underneath. Oh, that was good aiming. I'm impressed with myself. So, down here, much has changed. As I said, we've changed all of the internal wood to lightweight metal alloy. We've still got the space crates, still got some repair drones, we've still got the pump. But all of the ammo barrels are in the middle now, away from the explosive edges. I may put an extra layer on top. You'll notice down the bottom that we've got a stupid amount of ammo stockpile here, and that's because there's a lot more as well, and I'll show you those in just a moment. But plenty of room. The walls are now pretty thick. If you remember that outside there, outside this layer, there's another layer of actual metal as well. In fact, in some places there's 2 layers of weight metal alloy as well. So 3 layers of armor protecting this ammo storage. Now through here, we have fuel and repair bots. Lots of fuel, in fact. We've still got the lasers going along here. They're still in the engine room, the missile room. Down here, we have the fuel processor. Only one. We don't need more. Our engine is stupidly efficient. We have a little lip up here as well to have a proper look around. But everything is much cleaner, much neater, much more fitting of a ship of the Eversong's caliber, in my opinion. Now, the last bit I wanted to show you, and what we're going to go into build mode for this one, because it is internal down here. We're going to shrink all this. We have got more ammo storage and well, along the keel, basically, and this runs the full length of the ship. Now, I appreciate that this does mean that some parts of it aren't quite as heavily armored as others, but generally I've tried to keep the armor at least 2 layers thick. Now, this gives a fair bit of passive regen of ammo. My hope is that the Eversong is going to be able to run without consuming metal resources. If that doesn't turn out to be the way, or if occasionally something gets in the front and blows up half the ship, because the explosion would literally travel all the way down here and then set off the the ammo barrels in here as well, I may get rid of this and just leave that as weight. Or lightweight metal alloy, perhaps, just to relieve some of the weight. But and then we'd have actual ammo processors, but I don't want to do that. Now, if we come out here, since I'm in build mode, I'll just show you. The Eversong is now tending to sit a little bit higher in the water, so I'm going to have to move the position of the propellers, or at least the steering propellers. I've had to sacrifice the top layer of large propellers, because they were simply out of the water more than they were in the water, and that makes them completely useless to me. But before we get to that, we have a few things we need to do. One, I haven't put in the AI cards. We've got the naval AI over here, and we have got the weapon system AIs over here. I've sunk them down into the floor, make them look a little bit better, you know, keeping things nice and neat. And I'm thinking of doing something that I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I'm hoping that it will. Well, obviously, I'm hoping that it will. But I'm hoping that it would make for a nice aesthetic. Now, what I'm thinking is this. If we get glass... do I want it right here? Yeah, actually. We'll have it in... I'm trying to think of how I'm going to get the laser beam up top, basically, because this is where we're going to have our laser defense system. Not an actual offensive laser, purely missile defense. I guess we could put it here for now and then see if we want to move it. So, if we go for a glass block, and there we go, and then just build up, I'm wondering if the laser will travel through the glass. Now, this is not something I've done before, so it's going to be a bit of a test. But shouldn't be too hard for us to work out. So all I need is one of these conduits. We'll place one there, one there. Then we want the laser transceivers. One here. That should connect the beam. Well, it should. I believe they are connected. One there. I think the way to test would be to add a multi-purpose laser block right at the top. And then all of this should kick in. Now, if I remove this, is it going to break? Haha! Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. Right, okay, then up here we are going to want to make a very quick construct just to test this out. So we'll put a laser. We want no, lasers. Thank you. We want the connector. We'll put 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is much higher than it needs to be because I'm going to have. Where are you? Actually, I don't need that at all. Let's place one there, and I'll strip these away. Then we'll just stick a multi-purpose laser block there. And then finally, the laser transceiver there. Is that going to fire up the engine? Yes, the engine fired up. Oh, look at that beautiful, beautiful laser beam. It's going up through the glass. That is perfect. I have tried to make this kind of appearance so often by literally building a hollow glass tube with a little bit of fortification around it. And then it just occurred to me, well, I know that it can sometimes go through blocks because it does on the Pinakas. It goes through blocks in order to move through the turret block. I wonder if it'll work with glass. And lo and behold, it does. Oh, so happy am I. Ah, this is fantastic. This is absolutely wonderful. Alright, let's finish this off. So, we've got our laser defense power, or at least the lasers themselves, up to the top there. And we'll place a little bit more. Oh, that's glorious. And it's nighttime. Oh, look how bright it is out there. We need some more of these lights inside, though. The bridge should not be in darkness, I tell you. That is wrong. Shall we have ones by the doors, maybe? Maybe even just one by here? Will that light up this entire room? Yes, it will. That's good enough light for me. Yeah, actually, that's pretty good. It's got a nice ops room kind of feel to it. Well, honestly, if we could have that light a little bit dimmer, it would look a little bit better. But oh well, beggars cannot be choosers, I suppose. Right, let's get rid of these. There we go. We know that's going to work, so we can settle with that. In fact, I know it's going to work, so I could just get rid of this and have the transceiver just one block below. So I have the transceiver there so that I can have the multi-purpose block right above it and then spread that out to the lasers out here and then build up. Yeah, okay, I've convinced myself that this is what we need to do. Right, 2 lasers. We want connector. We'll place one connector there. We will also place the multi-purpose laser block here. We will then go down one, delete that, and then put a laser transceiver there. Is that going to work? Is it not going to work? Has that not worked? Are you working? I do not believe it is. Okay, fair enough. We will do it this way then. 1, 2, get rid of you. Then put a multi-purpose laser block there. Is that going to charge up? Oh. Looks like I was being silly. Looks like I didn't need it. Place one there. And it should immediately charge. Okay, right. What we're going to want then is to decide where we're going to have our laser missile defenses. Now, if you recall, we do not need these to be guided by anything. They'll just fire on their own. I'm thinking... Now, the problem here is, do I want all of this right back here at the back? Or do I want some of it at the front? And the other question is, I mean, these things are bloody huge. Do I need this much power for a laser defense system? Almost certainly not. I mean, this is a fantastic offensive laser system. I don't need this much power if all I'm going to be doing is shooting down incoming. incoming missiles, but at the same time... Though, that said, perhaps I could have, like, a laser defense tower, like, all the way up here. And from this tower, it will use these to intercept... yeah, actually, I kind of like that idea, and then we can build it up. I'm not sure if this is going to work. We'll have to test that in the first battle that we get into. It'll be a bit of a fly by the seat of our pants test, but, oh well. You need those every now and then. Helps you feel alive. And there we go. So plenty of missile defense at the very top. Then we're going to want some more down here as well. Like one there, perhaps. And we'll have one down here at the back as well. Right there. And probably some at the sides. It's going to be grand. We're going to be covered in all directions. So even if that tower gets taken out, unless they take out the very base of the tower, they're not going to wipe it all out. We'll possibly have even a shorter tower here. Just to be certain. I mean, you know, if you're going to do this sort of thing, you may as well go the full hog. And we'll have... Oh, where am I going? Go up. There we are. Now, I have noticed that since the last update, they've added something really, really awesome. I'll quickly show you. You know how I've always seemed to have problems orientating the blocks? If I hold down tab, look at that. It's telling me what keys I need to press to rotate this block in the ways that I want. So D, for example. That is amazing. Truly amazing. They're honestly fantastic. I can't even begin to express how happy I am to have this. And we want this one to be that way and then this way. See? Ah, look at how easy it is now. And down one. We want it to go E. I'm very happy. I'm a happy AVAC. Usually a happy AVAC involves being fed, but right now it's just that my laser defense system is easy to build. There we go. And once more, want to point it that way. Okay, so that's my laser defense system. That should be able to shoot down an awful lot of bad things. Actually, I would prefer to have this rotated in this way. I would prefer the forward one to be the shorter one, honestly. So let's make that happen. There we go. And we'll just point that one straight up. Get rid of you. And that way we'll make the rear tower a little bit taller. Maybe. I mean, I put these missile points here for a reason, didn't I? And here I am blocking them. Nevertheless, it's kind of important to do. So we'll have a really nice tall tower at the front there. Fantastic. So lock in position, and we want this one. There we are. Well, on the plus side, you can at least stop smacking your heads against your desks, wondering why I've not learned how to actually build properly in this game. Because now now I kind of know one of the ways to build properly, but probably still won't build properly. Let's put it like that. Okay, maybe I will actually rise these up just slightly. I might even put some at the front here. Some forward warning. Because this is a missile cruiser at the end of the day. It makes more sense for me to prioritize being able to actually see the bad guys. Now, I'll clad all of this off camera. I'm not going to sit around doing that. But I will set up the missile warners because I have decided that I like the idea of making them a little bit more robust. That means that unfortunately in here, and you know what? Don't even. That's all I'm going to say. Why? Why must I forget every single time? Actually, no. We don't want that there. We want this to come back up. And instead, we want it to be out a little bit. About here will do. There we are. And same over here. Fantastic. Right, we should be able to just use a beam for the rest of this then. What I'm doing here is I'm building up the area that is going to be responsible for housing our missile warner lasers. Oh, well, not missile warner lasers, sorry. The missile laser designation systems. I like them to be a little bit raised, obviously. I am going to raise these ones up slightly and have these ones just a little bit lower down. But first I need to burrow into the ship and find... There we are, it's just down there. Perfect. Let's get down there, delete that. Going to need to replace those blocks though. With... No? Are you sure? Fairly certain I just deleted something. Oh, it's over here. 4 there, and we'll get rid of this one. There we are. Now we just bring this all the way up and to about there. Right, perfect. That should be linked on both sides. We'll grab you and we'll place you there. Absolutely perfect. We only need the upslopes. Let's lock this in position and bring that around properly. See, now I've got it and it's going to work okay. All is well. You can stop crying. No, seriously, stop crying. It makes me feel bad. We need triangle components. There. There. And finally, there as well. Right, okay. So these should now be hooked up. Let's see if it's connected. Yes, it's connected. And what about you? Connected. Fantastic. Are you connected to the same ones? Controller 2666. Controller 2666. What about you? Controller 3936. 3936. Okay. Right, well, we're going to delete those. We're also going to rise this up a fair chunk. That should be enough, I would say, for us to easily be able to target any ship without interfering with our own guidance systems. I think. I guess you shouldn't probably quote me on that one, because I could easily be wrong. And let's rotate you. Oh, so much easier now I understand what I'm doing. Funny that. Knowing what I'm doing makes things easy for me to do. You fools. I've gained knowledge. This is going to be the end of mankind, you realize. I'm going to rise up and lead some sort of no, I'm not going to lead any rebellion. Who would be stupid enough to follow me? My AI, maybe. That's probably why I had to do it. I build my own friends to follow me into war. Right. Now, we want to rotate this away. There we go. And then it's just a matter of spinning this around a couple of times. And then we are pretty much done. Ah, this is brilliant. I do need to still set up the AI, and that will happen, but it's not going to be a huge priority to do on camera, because you've seen me do it before. I'm literally just going to copy those settings over. I'm not liking this featureless column here, though. I'm going to need to think of something interesting to do. Maybe lights. Maybe lights along this featureless column. That might be nice. I could even perhaps just build out more Warner systems around the... Ooh, you know what? That kind of makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Why didn't I think of this before? You guys were meant to warn me about when I was doing stupid things. Once again, you have failed your job. You're worse than Starscream. There we go. There we are. Fantastic. Now it is no longer a featureless column, or it won't be as soon as I get these down here. And there. And lock it in place. Rotate it around. Ah, look at that. Absolute perfectness. Nothing will escape our gaze. Our missiles will be everywhere. In fact, it's getting to the point where I actually don't need the missiles at the front of the missile warners. Laser designators at the front of the ship. That is possibly something I will look at changing. If we find that the bridge is just good enough to do all of this by itself, I may well get rid of these. I like the ones right at the front, though. I'll keep those. But, yeah, you know what? I'm noticing one annoying thing, and that is that this ship is rocking crazy. I think we need more stabilizers, so that's one of the last things I'm going to add on camera. Now, again, this is probably going to be one of the last episodes for the next day or two. At the very least, whilst I wait for the last components of my computer to arrive so that I can record the rest of the series the way it should be recorded, showcasing it in all of its wonderful glory, not the laggy glory. Lag is never, ever glorious. True facts. You okay down there? Yeah, you're fine. Maybe I'll expand these out just a slight bit on the outsides. You can stay there in the middle, and I'll expand those ones out there. You alright back here? Yes, I fancy you are. Now, a couple of people have said I don't have rudders. I actually do, and I've always had rudders. They've always been there. They are very easy to miss, though, buried in amongst all of those propellers, I grant you. Hopefully, these will now start to balance the ship. I mean, it is bobbing still, but it's not bobbing as aggressively side to side. I need to do something to stop the bobbing left-right, though, which is the... sorry, front and back. I'm thinking I'm probably going to need to build out something at the back here to allow me to do that. I may even need to drop all of these propellers. There's still a bit of work to do on the Eversong, but I'm fairly happy with the way she's set up right now. Let's oh, no, Some days I just... Whoop the chair. Okay. Right. Am I in control of its weapon systems? I am. Let's move out. This will be the way for me to test. Oh, look at that. I can see everything. I can shoot at everything. Oh, this is glorious. Oh, that is absolutely amazing. I don't think there's ever a time right now where at least both sides of the missiles have got at least one of their laser designators pointing at it. Except when I aim at the sky, because it literally can't hit anything then. But that looks amazing. Now, off camera, I'm going to go ahead and flesh out the remainder of the Kunanun's design. Mostly that is going to involve, let me start moving around the lasers, cladding this, just giving it a little bit of shape, really. Nothing fancy with this one. I may do something with the lasers down here. This is such a powerful laser system. I'm wondering if we really need it. I could have a transceiver there, firing a laser beam all the way down here to a front-mounted laser defense system. Maybe that could just be sticking out of the sides, perhaps? It would be a little bit close to the waterline, though. And that I wouldn't like, but maybe I could find something to work with. Maybe we could build something out around here, perhaps, something like that. I don't know, but I'll have a think, because right now all of our laser defense is coming from over here. Now, generally speaking, I think these have got the range to protect, so as long as this tower is there, it probably will be able to shoot down any missiles in front of it. But I'm pretty happy with the new Kunanun's design. I'm actually really happy with the new Kunanun's design, so it's time, at last, to save the constructible. Now, I'm going to move out of that directory into it again. We are going to be saving it as a Kunanun without the caret over the W, because this game doesn't accept that. It does grieve me a little bit every time I'm forced to write this and not spell it correctly. But fair enough. There we go! Now, of course, I need to rename the Eversong. But we have the Kunanun's design saved. HMS Eversong. Fantastic. And that is going to be it for me for now on From the Depths. Hopefully, at least, at the latest, next week sometime, I'll continue regular uploads again, because I'll have my new computer and we can see if it's made a significant difference. I hope it has, considering how much money I've spent on it. But if it hasn't, I don't know what to say. I won't be saying it. I'll just be sobbing bitterly. Bitter tears will be filling my teacup. Dark Havoc will be pleased. I will not. But that is it from me. I do hope you've liked this episode, and I hope to see you in the next. But until then, and as always, do take care.